Today we're breaking down the 4 reasons why NBA practices are actually tougher than the games themselves. Let's get into it. When it comes to the NBA, what if I told you that game night isn't even the hardest part of a player's week? NBA coaches don't just prepare players for the game, they over-prepare them. And our first reason for today's video is, practices are designed to exceed game conditions. We're talking faster pace, shorter rest, and drills that don't stop. And it's not just for the sake of toughness. According to the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, players actually hit higher heart rates and report more exertion during certain practice drills than they do in live games. Why? Because practices eliminate all the built-in breaks you get in the real game. No TV timeouts, free throws, or crowd giving you that last-minute energy burst. That old-school standard still lives on, especially in places like Miami, where Pat Riley's influence continues to drive intense conditioning and mental toughness drills. Players are held to a strict body fat percentage and fitness benchmarks year-round. Practices often feature full-speed defensive rotations and physical scrimmages that push players past their limits, all before they ever set foot on the floor. This is where the grind separates the good from the great, and that's just on the physical side, because mentally it gets even tougher. But here's where the games flip the script, which leads us into our second reason, that is, games are unpredictable. Practice is a controlled setting for skill development, and an actual professional game is far from that. In a real game, players aren't just running set drills, they're reading defenders, reacting in real time, and adjusting on the fly. One possession, you might be wide open when you come off a screen to an easy 3-point shot. The next, you might have a defender up close, so you gotta pump fake, jab step, drive, and hit that mid-range pull-up, all in seconds. That's why players don't just train at full speed, they rehearse their moves slowly, then ramp up the tempo. The goal? Build muscle memory so that when it's game time, every reaction feels natural, because basketball is unpredictable. And when chaos hits, it's not just about skill, it's about the mental readiness. Players have to be locked in upstairs because they will be tested. Take the Golden State Warriors for example. Their practices focus heavily on read and react principles. You'll see a ton of randomized decision-making drills, no patterns, no scripts, just pure basketball instincts. They use small-sided games like 2-on-2s and 3-on-3s to mimic real game reads and emphasize off-ball movement and split-action passing, which is the core to their offense. It's less about memorizing plays and more about developing rhythm, feel, and flow. Once players get the feel and the flow down, that's when it takes time to take it deeper, because instincts alone isn't enough. You need the tools to execute under pressure, and that brings us to our third reason why NBA practices are tougher than the games. Now, practice isn't just about running plays, it's where players sharpen their individual skills. And that brings us to reason number 3, skill refinement. This is where players sharpen the edges of their game. Got a weak left hand? Just act Jaylen Brown. That weakness was exposed under the spotlight in the finals. His response? You don't hide from it. You go back to the lab and turn the weakness into a weapon. 3-and-D guys? They're not just standing in the corner all day during practice. They're spending time working on dribble counters, go-to moves to get their shot off when defenders run them off the 3-point line. The goal is to add one more layer to your game so you're never one-dimensional. Miss a clutch free throw in a game? The answer isn't just reps. It's reps when you're exhausted. Shooting free throws after a hard practice when your legs are gone, that's how you simulate game pressure and build trust in your shot. And here's what most fans don't see. Nearly 70 to 80% of NBA players work with their own personal trainer during the season outside of team practices. In fact, many of them spend more time with their individual trainers than the team's training staff. That's how serious player development has become. Because everyone is trying to level up, you don't wait until the offseason to improve. You chase that edge every chance you get. Confidence on the court comes from preparation, and preparation comes from reps. High rep training builds trust in your skills. So when the moment comes in the game, you don't hesitate. That's why when the lights come on, some players rise and others shrink. The difference? Preparation. Period. And here's the thing, preparation isn't just personal, it's also collective. Because winning in the NBA takes more than just individual skill. It takes trust, chemistry, and knowing the guys beside you inside and out. Which brings us to our last reason, building chemistry with your teammates. This is where you figure out who steps up under pressure and who folds. You learn what button to push, who needs a challenge, and where players thrive best. Whether it's coming off a screen, defending in isolation, or making an extra pass. It's in these moments where real chemistry is built. Maybe instead of finishing at the rim, you kick it out to your teammate at their favorite spot on the 3-point line. just to get them going, because during crunch time, you may need them to be in a rhythm to hit that shot when it counts. Or maybe you notice a teammate struggles passing out of a double team, so you become the visible outlet, constantly give them an easy option to pass to when plays break down. These little habits built in practice make the biggest difference when it's time to win. So the next time you watch an NBA game, remember, the real work is already done long before tip-off. From pushing past physical limits, mastering mental reads, refining weaknesses, building individual skill, and forging team chemistry under fire. NBA practice is where players become players. It's where confidence is built, trust is earned, and greatness is shaped. The game may be a show, but practice, that's where the magic is made.